Hello there. Good evening. How's it going? The S50 is out tonight, streaming on Discord. Cool. We'll check that out in a bit. Thanks for joining, Cosmic Ray. So I got my Seestar at Starfront upgraded to the latest firmware. They updated it for me. I mean, all you have to do is connect with a phone, so they did that, and so we're gonna try it out, and hopefully everything works okay. I updated to the latest ALP that supports the latest firmware, so we'll see how that works. Hello, Turf. Good evening. How's it going? Thanks for joining. Yeah, so let me go ahead and move over to the Hello, Jeff. Good evening. Thanks for joining. We'll see how this goes. So I told it. You know, I might have confused it. Let me check on something. Hello, Quantum. Good evening. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure this. What did I do? Because I updated to the latest ALP. So one thing, I do have the S30 running. You can see in the all-sky camera below. I've got, I was pointing at M95, M196, and M105. So kind of a nice wide field here. The moon just rose a little bit ago, so it's going to be out of the way. I mean, it's not going to be kind of blasting on the scope immediately, so let me see why it's not happy. The instance at Starfront, I updated it to the latest, like I said, to the latest firmware. I mean, the latest version of ALP. Let me see if there's something about the configuration I've got here. I'm checking this off screen here real quick. I turned off EQ mode. Let's see. Let me go. Okay, so what do I have here? I'm basically looking at because since I'm running ALP here locally with the latest firmware, and in equatorial mode, I'm just seeing. All right. Why do I have the? Okay, give me a sec here. I am going to reboot the scope at Starfront. Hopefully I don't make things worse, but... Alright. I am rebooting it. So let's see how this goes. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be cloudy at Starfront, on and off for the next few days, but it'll be clear here, I think, some of the days. So I might have a non-Starfront live stream. But there's, what's today? In the next few days, hopefully within the next week or two, I'm gonna, there's something kind of interesting I'm gonna try, but I'll talk about it once it gets closer. Hello, Victor. Good evening. Thanks for joining. And hello, I'm having a hard time. Star Voyager. Good evening. Thanks for joining. Now, let me see. Has this... Okay. I think it's rebooting. Hopefully, it doesn't have a problem. Because I rebooted the Seestar last night. I was on Discord, and I think I was on Discord. I don't remember. Anyway, I rebooted it, and it hung on reboot. And they had a power cycle today, which then I asked them, since they were power cycling it, if they could update the firmware, and they did. All right, so it is rebooted. So let me try doing... I haven't tried this startup sequence, so we'll see if this works. Hopefully this doesn't do anything strange. Yeah, I was having a hard time. Hello, Aiden. Good evening. Thanks for joining. And by the way, if you're watching the video, don't forget to like the video, because it does help these live streams a lot. So the scope is moving. So I don't know if how they aligned it, but if they aligned it the way it's normally supposed to be aligned with the new equatorial mode where the power button is up, I changed it to hopefully do the right startup. So we'll see. Let's see, what does the all-sky camera look like? That's Starfront. Oh, so this was one thing I was going to do. I have a really tiny font. Alright. Is this the right version? Yeah, that's the right version. Cool. Alright. Oh. I need to not cycle it so quickly. I was testing something out. And that is way too fast. Should be... Okay. Hopefully that'll be slower. Online exam in the morning. Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely that's online exam. Exams are definitely more important. Okay. Let's try autofocus. Let's see. And that was actually where I kind of got into trouble yesterday. I kicked off an autofocus routine and it ended up getting very confused. And then, okay, that actually completed. Now it's doing dark frame. It got really confused, and so then I'm like, well, let me it finished, but it wasn't able to get focused. So I'm like, I'm gonna reboot it, start over, and it hung on reboot, which I don't remember if that's ever happened before. And I know it hung because I was able to ping the Seestar, so it was still on the network, but it wasn't listening on the command port. It was listening on some of the other ports, but not on the main port where you tell it to reboot. So something weird happened. Anyway. No more blue bugs. Yeah. Oh, and then it needs to do the polar alignment. Oh, hello, old geezer gazing. Good morning from the UAE. Or good, thanks for joining. What is this doing? Okay. That's interesting. Well, let me just try doing that. Hopefully that'll do something. Because it should kick off, yeah, the 3-point alignment. Yeah, it's really weird, Cosmic Ray. I was trying to view your stream on Discord, and for some reason it's timing out. Yeah. Yeah, now the reboot, the hang and reboot thing, I'm not 100% sure what the cause of that was. But with the S, and plus I don't have the app connected to it, but the S30, I'm using that tonight, and I have the app connected to it, so if anything glitches, I'm gonna definitely report it. But Comet Hunting 2025 F2. Yeah, I need to, like, that's still kind of early morning. I might try to kick off an image of that tonight, but we'll see. Okay. Yeah, I was using Alps to autofocus and reboot, which I've done it many times, so it was kind of weird. Restarted Discord stream. Okay, cool. Let me check. Oh yeah, yeah. It working there. It's working for me now too. Cool. 3 a.m. Yeah, yeah. It's so. Well, that's good to know. As far as I know, it's still below the horizon here. Oops. And that. And go over here. And change to that. And let's see if this works. Hey, it does. So here's up. Let me move this to the front. There we go. Actually, I can move it like this. So we got it. All right. So Starfront is in good shape. Finally. But before I go check something else out, let me look at the S30. Oh, nice. Yeah, so there's like a couple of galaxies here. One of them's one of the Messier galaxies. I think M105 and 95 and 96, something like that. But what I wanted to do before things get, and actually look at that, no drops. That's nice. So that the S30 is running locally in EQ mode. So let me stop this. Okay, and since the moon is like barely up, I was wanting to try to get some more time on the Dolphin Nebula because I'm running out of time. It's kind of low right now, and I want to get hours of a lot more hours of data. I don't have much more time to do it, so yeah, if it passes the sun intact. The problem is you just never know with these comets. Like Wiley Sight was saying, like if it's a periodic one that's been going round and round for centuries or whatever, that there's a good chance that that one's going to survive. But some of these kind of ones that haven't been in the inner solar system in a long time, a lot of them don't. Okay, for some reason it says it's below the horizon. And it's running the latest code. Is there a way to tell if it is in EQ mode? I mean, that doesn't make much sense otherwise. It seemed to be tracking fine. Well, this is disappointing. Well, let me switch back to the other one and I'll kind of poke around here, try to figure out why it doesn't. Let's see. Let's see. So why is it? Did that already finish? I think I did it for an hour. No. Okay. Hello, Qubits. Good evening. Have a few hours of clear skies to join the fun. Cool. It's always good if, especially if it's been kind of not clear for a while. M3. Cool. Let me, why isn't it? Give me a sec here. Let's see. Oh. Hello, Brent. Good evening. Well, yeah, too bad it's cloudy, but at least glad you're able to join. What target do you want next? I don't know. That was, what was that one? It was SH2 235. That's cool. Where is that? Oh, okay. It's over not too far from the Flaming Star Nebula and the Spider and the Fly. Wasn't familiar with that one. I don't know. A reservoir of water from 3 days of rain. Wow. Yeah, we haven't had much rain here in days. So much so that I wonder if it's going to start becoming a problem here before too long. What target should Cosmic Ray do next? And is there anything else over in that area? Because that's kind of a cool one, that SH, that sharpless object. I need to, hold on, I need to send a ticket to... yeah, so need to message them. All right. Okay, so I don't know what would be a good found Alp to be unreliable and successfully completing bases. Yeah, there've been some recent issues. I feel like it's gotten less stable. Some of the back-end stuff, because I've been running into a lot of issues at Starfront, and I'm not 100% sure why. It's kind of interesting. Yeah. let's see. Do you use yours in what do you call it, in station mode, or do you directly connect, or were you directly connecting with the computer to your Seestar? I'm just curious. It may have nothing to do with it, but I'm just I have a kind of thought about something. What should cosmic ray image? Maybe the jellyfish nebula? Like that one needs reasonably dark skies, and cosmic ray has reasonably dark skies, or pretty dark skies. Maybe the jellyfish? Because I really haven't been able to image that much. Cool. Let me pop this up. Fish. Wait, where was it? Oh, here. This was a photo that was shared on Discord by sorry, it's like I try to keep the handles straight by Fish and Football. This is a photo he took of the new comet, the 2025 F2. It's a very green comet. It's interesting because I've seen that with other photos too. Very interesting. Oh wow, only been able to image 1 out of 10 tries on 3.0 beta. You know, it's interesting because there's some other people who've reported similar things where it's just horribly confused. That's very interesting. Okay, when using outputs in station mode, okay. Yeah, I was looking at some of that code because I mostly had been working on the web and live view, and I was looking at some things, and I don't know, I have a couple of operational theories on why. Yeah, I mean, I use it quite a bit. Like I kind of did the initial open up the Seestar S50 today with the app, but like imaging this target over here, this has all been done in Alp. But that said, at Starfront, I'm running, you know, an S50. I've been having a lot of issues, but oddly, I hadn't had a lot of those issues when I was running it here, which is very, very weird. Let's see. Okay, time on target's 57 minutes, so I think I had initially set this up for an hour. The one thing I've been having, there've been a few issues I've had consistently at Starfront. One of them was the schedules, where it'll just not progress on a schedule. It'll just not run a step. It's very strange. But I hadn't really used schedules like this when I was running it locally, so and I know there's other people who run schedules pretty regularly. Man, it looks so bright over on the Starfront camera. Oh, nice. Yeah, I mean, if you're using a Mac Mini, I don't think you'll have problems. There's several people using that, but that's cool. I'm glad you're. I think you'll be quite happy with it. Yeah, congrats. Yeah, because yeah, I mean it's nice. Yeah, congrats and all the best. Yeah, it's what? Let me look at this Starfront. Wow. It's kind of interesting. The moon is still pretty low on the horizon. And on the Starfront cameras, it kind of looks interesting. The way the light is kind of shining in from the side. Just kind of blasting. M3 is looking nice. Okay, so I have to find another target for locally. Yeah. No, the weather wasn't cooperating. Yeah, I mean, are you going to be running it? Are you going to be running it in equatorial mode or alt azimuth mode? EQ mode, cool. Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be a problem. I mean, the good thing is there's a number of other Seestars there. So, the biggest thing is so long as you can get into your Mac Mini remotely, like the rest you should be able to deal with. Yeah, tail scale is nice. Although there's a lot of people that just use the Chrome remote desktop, but I like having tail scale because then you can connect like other ways, like SSH and stuff. You're not limited to just the remote desktop. Okay, so let me figure out what to image next on my side. I am going to go. Problem is, my skies are so. I was looking at the thing's cosmic ray, or the target cosmic ray was just imaging, which is around here, and then I'm like, oh wait, let me turn on the sky, my horizon, and it's like, oh yeah, I can't see anything. So let me. The good thing is though, the moon is blocking everything. So yeah, that you should be pretty good. Chrome Remote Desktop and Google Drive. Yeah, to use increased gain. Yeah, I mean, I need to, since I need to look at some of that code, especially now that I'm running the very latest everywhere here, because I wasn't, like, I was kind of on an old firmware, but now everything I'm running is the very latest firmware. So let's see, what would be a good target? Portal 7. Yeah, increasing gain is definitely nice. Huge high chance we're in a huge solar storm, seeing some crazy clouds. Interesting. The Skywatcher wedge. Actually, I think in the case of any wedge, I'm trying to remember, what they said. Because when I brought my wedge, I think I included like a 3/8 inch bolt, or whatever that could be used to, like this thumb kind of 3/8 inch kind of. So like if you had a plate, you could attach it to the plate. If you have anything like that, it wouldn't hurt to send it along. That said, I don't think it's a showstopper, because I'm pretty sure they have like a lot of extra bolts and stuff. Oh, wow. Recycling center caught fire in your town. Wow. Large scale metal recycling. Yikes. That's a mess. That is a big mess. Correctly green means run. Yeah. I got M13. We got two globulars here. M3 and M13. Cool. Let me trying to find something that I can actually image. Problem is right now it's my backyard is in a kind of a weird, because of the obstructions, there's limited choices right now. That would be kind of, I say limited choices, I guess limited for the kind of things that I was wanting to image. Let me see. Oh, maybe I'll do that. Yeah. No, those might not be high enough. I'm just gonna do the whirlpool for now. When the reactor popped in the first episode of Chernobyl. Yikes. M13 and Hercules. Cool. Wow. Wow. Yeah, M13 is pretty cool. Let me move this over here. There we go. Because what I want to do is separate, and then have maybe both live views in one shot. Cool. All right. What I wanted to do is get both of the Seestars kind of in one place. So what I was going to do is point the local one at M51 just to get it going at something. And Starfront. Problem is it doesn't think it's in equatorial mode, so I can't image anything with a negative declination. So I need to figure out what I want to image that's got a positive declination. Give me a sec here. Yikes. 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 Dang it. Sometimes my stellarium really lags. And that just happened. Like I push on something and then it doesn't react, and I wait, and then I try again, and then it remembers both. No, here. Lithium with, yeah. Ran into an issue with the schedule tried. This is Park Scope. Interesting. Interesting. Yes, I believe you're correct about the asynchronous commands. No, I'm not using the original power cable. I ended up buying a new one. Yeah. And it was a longer one. I bought a longer one. There we go. Tiny little M51. But let's see. What could I image at Starfront, given that it thinks it is... I can't image anything negative. Declination. So... Oops. Well, there's a few of those clusters I could image. Actually, you know what? One that I haven't really imaged in a while that I should give a try. And that has a positive declination. Cool. So let me do all right, do an hour and go. Yeah, 10-foot cable. Yeah, I think I'm using either a 6 or a 10-foot. Park scope command, it basically folds the arm down where it's kind of like when it's off, but it's still on. It's basically the arm is retracted. Yeah, make sure the Mac is set to auto start on power. You'll be glad you did. Otherwise, because if the power blips there, could be a problem. And the obligatory plug, don't forget to like the video. It does help with these live streams. This isn't going to be as long of a live stream tonight, probably, because it's Sunday night. Although it's just now 10 here. But I probably will stream again Monday or Tuesday. Yeah, Wi-Fi power strip. Yeah, and so like with the Wi-Fi power strip, they will set it up on their network. So that way, yeah, and it works fine. You can get to it. I had to turn off 2FA on my account. I think it was something like that. And then they were able to add it to the account, and then I turned it back on. Yeah, park command basically closes the arm. Yep. Exactly. Oh, Qubits has M51 as well. Now, granted, it's probably M51 at a darker location with an S50, whereas I'm doing it here with an S30. Actually, let me check something here. Oops. Now this is the image to the left. It's 100% failing, which is why you don't see anything showing up on the left. So I might have to pick another target. It was Lauer's Nebula, which is kind of frustrating, but so let me find another target. Maybe one of those. Maybe one of those more. What is that? No. Do I connect to my Raspberry Pi? I do it via Ethernet. They provide an Ethernet. Well, at least when I sent mine, it said to send it with an Ethernet cable, so I sent it with an Ethernet cable, and they plugged it into their network. Try that night. See, yeah. Yeah, a park at the beginning. That's interesting. Yeah, Cat 6, yeah. Yeah, so they'll take that and they'll plug that into your Mac Mini. And then the connection's pretty stable and pretty fast. ParkScope provides help with a starting reference point. That's interesting. That makes sense. Do you manually ParkScope or add it to the start of your schedule? Crons that copy the files off the Seestar and crons that copy the files. Yeah. Although I think, yeah, he has Google Drive, but could have something like that. About a fit a second, yeah. Okay, so Quantum uses ParkScope as the first command in the schedule. Interesting. I'll have to try that too. I'm kind of this what do you call it, the M51 is for qubits is getting data a lot faster than mine. Funny that. All right, trying to figure out what. Problem is, there were a lot of targets I wanted to image that were below the horizon. I mean, below that had negative declination. Yeah, that one's probably too close to the ground, to the horizon. It's this one. Yeah, Python can watch changes in the directory and automatically perform. Yeah, that can be overkill. It is a 6, 7 to 9 is it is a factor. I mean, like a multiple worse to 9. So, but yeah. Do you add park between commands or just at the beginning? Never did between. Okay. Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing. I connected mine 5 gigahertz and it makes a big difference. Only at the beginning of the schedule. Okay, that's good to know. I definitely need to try that out. I'm still trying to find something to image at Starfront. Oh. Problem is some of these have more interesting names than these galaxies. What would be a good one? I'm going to try this. Let's see. Hopefully it won't fail 100%. NGC 5128. 5128. Oh, Centaurus A. Yeah. Yeah, that's a great one. That is a really cool one. All right. Okay, it's still trying to do a go to. It is starting to image. And looks like it went to the target, so, and of course it dropped the first frame, which is not encouraging. Okay, it got one. Okay, it got two. Cool. So I'm imaging the Cone Nebula Christmas tree cluster over here, so that should be fairly immune to the moonlight. At least relatively. Yeah. 2.4 definitely has better range, but yeah, the it's like 4 feet away. I mean, maybe not even 4 feet. Like they basically have the telescope. They have the telescope, and then right underneath it is the computer. Like they have it mounted to the wall under the computer. So you've got like on mine. Let me see what mine says. Um, yeah, at home, I usually like having uh, like under 60 dBm for signal strength. 50 is great. It's 30 at or no, it's 45. It's 45 is the signal strength. Um, so yeah, it's pretty good because it's like right next to it. I mean, there's some metal around, but yeah, they have like gigabits symmetric, um, and they have it was the property came with it was wired for fiber, so they have the option of adding more fibers. And because a lot of people, they do imaging, and they just kind of like with the Google Drive, with Google Drive, they just, as they get subframes, they go onto the Google Drive and it synchronizes. So it's kind of a trickle of data, and they're not like, most people aren't running like Seestars where you're taking a frame every 10 seconds. So it might be every few minutes. And so yeah, the network has been pretty solid. Can't use station mode. I think some people do, but I prefer not operating on the same network. And I think ideally you don't use, but there are some people I think who run that way. You plugged in the charge cable, Alp stopped. That's interesting. Yeah. I mean, I often run 2 gigahertz at home as well for that reason. Interesting. On a power tank now. That's interesting that that Alp stopped. That's very odd. Let's see. Wow, look at the moon on the all sky camera there, where it's how the telescope's all lit up. Like, look at that. It's just so bright. Yeah, that M52 is looking pretty solid. Yeah, only 11 minutes. M13's looking good too. 5 gigahertz extenders. Hey, well, keeps disconnecting. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. A lot of people won't get that. Yep. 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 Yeah. Oh my gosh. First thing you had the internet on was a Dreamcast. Wow. Gen X thing, yeah. Yeah. I actually, yeah. I had, we had a second phone line. ColecoVision. Nice. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, post-internet. Yep. Yeah, BBS. Yep. All right. All right. 2 lines to get 56K. Quicksilver stream. Just one. Yeah. I had, first modem I had was 1200 baud. And then, was it 1200 baud on a VIC-20, I think. Not one of those fancy Commodore 64s. And then, yeah, I did have a computer with a 300 baud modem around that time as well. Then we had 24, and I don't remember if we went to, I think we went to 9600 maybe. But I also had, I was doing UUCP back then, Unix to Unix copy, because I was like getting Usenet stuff, and I had a UUNet node and or UUCP node. I actually had a couple of UUCP nodes, and I managed to convince some local universities to connect, that I connected to. But I ended up running Telebit Trailblazer, which was proprietary, but it was like either 10 or 20 kbits per second, which was just crazy at the time. It was like back in the late 80s, maybe 1990, somewhere around there. Made music and free stuff. Yeah. I had yeah, so I had UUCP. Trying to think what else that was interesting. It was I was running a UUCP node on Minix, and I was on the Minix news groups, and there was this guy from University of Finland who was talking about he had some patches for Minix, and he had named it Linux, which I thought was kind of pretentious. But a few months later, I ended up, a friend of mine helped me get it bootstrapped on my computer. It was like running Linux 0.13 or something. Anyway, old school. That's my Messier costume. Funny enough, I haven't started on it, but I did ask my daughter about it, and she was like, if you're serious about it, I know a place where we can get what you need for that. So what target are we doing? I mean, what am I doing? On the left, I'm doing the Cone Nebula. Yeah, it's kind of faint, but you can start seeing it down here. The cone part, and then the Christmas tree cluster and stuff. And then M51 on the local Seestar. Yeah, CX Spectrum. Yes, I remember. Yeah, and like some of it was. No, that was later. DSL was dependent on your distance to the CO. T1 didn't have a T1. You weren't using 300 baud. I did have one computer with 300 baud, and I was I think I mentioned this before. I didn't have my normal computer, and I was like trying to dial into the BBS, dial into the university, and all I had was this little computer with a 300 baud modem, and so I dialed in, and it only had a 40 character wide display, and I logged this, I wrote this long rant, and the funny thing is, because I was wrapping it at 40 characters, when I went back into campus and I was looking at it, I was like, it looked deranged, because I'm like 2 pages of text, like at 40 character, only 40 characters wide. It looked pretty deranged. Game Lemmings. Oh no. I wasn't into lemmings, but a friend of mine, he was really into lemmings. Really into lemmings. Is this a voting modem channel or imaging channel? It's a random channel, that's what it is. It's random. Remember installing, yeah, from floppies. Yeah, both. Call of Duty and Cosmic Ray. I remember a friend of mine, friend slash coworker, he was installing Microsoft Office off 5 1/4 floppies, and it was like 50 floppies, and there was like a disk error on floppy 45. Like, he was not happy. He was very unhappy. That was not a good day for him. So sorry, so one thing I'm so one thing I was doing off camera is I had mentioned that I was messing around with the settings on the reflector, trying to get it. I don't know. I'm having a lot of hard time with the, and it might just be the seeing, or not the seeing, but like my light pollution is just too much for such a slow scope. I don't know, but I was imaging M51, kind of trying to mess with that off camera, but so that's where it is, or that's the state of it right now. I was just kind of trying to get the settings a bit better. Yeah, so when I don't know. Like, there were some estimates, and some people were saying, like, there was those initial ones last summer, and those were off, and then somebody had the very specific prediction of a very specific day a few weeks ago. Of course, that didn't happen. I have nothing to substantiate it, except one of the studies seemed to indicate it would probably happen this year. But, you know, I feel like it's one of those things that, you know, it's, you know, our best information. But even then, I think because it's happened so infrequently, at the very least, whenever it goes, we'll have a better idea of maybe what the warning signs are before it goes. Which reminds me, where is that? Where's that in the sky? It's to the northeast. Cataclysmic variable star. So it's between M13? Yeah, M13 and is it M5? Hey, I actually remembered M5 and M13, so it's in there. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, honestly, I feel like it's kind of more of probably a probabilistic thing where, you know, they've got some projections that, yeah, 46, yeah. So it's yeah, it's about the time, but I have a feeling it's, yeah, things Yeah. Well, and I think they were able to figure out some previous incidents, but it's not. Yeah. It. And plus, if it's a natural thing caused by accumulation of like mass that's coming from one, between a binary system, like it it seems like the kind of thing that wouldn't be necessarily like super. It's not like you would set a clock on it. Yeah, not enough data, but yeah, but it even if it feels like the kind of thing that it would be kind of that there's a certain amount of variability into the thing. Yeah, yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. But I need to find something for the local Seestar, which of course I have to go back to my terrible horizon map. All right. All right. So I was imaging M51. Wonder. Maybe, what the heck, I'll do, I'd been doing some stuff in Markarian's chain, but maybe I'll do something right over here. Yeah, oh yeah, yeah, that is the framing I will go with. Will that fit on this in one frame? Yeah, we'll do that. Give me a sec here to tee this up. And what is this? This is M99 and M100. And go. All right. All right, cool. So that is going. All right. And M51's looking really nice. Very, very nice. For just half an hour of data. And that's looking quite nice as well. Try to process them and cracks per crash the whole computer. Wow. That's impressive. Okay, so M99 and M100 right there. Kind of opposite corners there. There and there. Oh, nice. Didn't have it at school. I mean, didn't have it at home. Yeah. We had, yeah. I mean, that's true. Like, I didn't have internet at home until, well, there wasn't like really consumer internet until I was out of college. But so I had access to the internet from college, but it was back when it was like NSFnet, so it was all research, R&D places. Oh, that's cool. Made friends with work studies lab managers. What I don't get is the weird colors I get out of this. I don't get it. I'm talking about sharp cap. I'm back, sorry. Zeller's getting free AOL 94.96. Block anyone from calling phone line. Yeah, 24K. Oh yeah, AOL. You know, I had they were sending out so many AOL CDs at one point. And I guess I was on the mailing list. I ended up starting to use them as coasters in my apartment. I probably have a box with like 20 AOL CDs in there, unless I threw them away. They may have gone into a box when I moved years ago. Did you use Napster? Yeah. And LimeWire, yes. I used both. Napster, nice. Yeah, I used both of those. I used both Napster and LimeWire. What else? I think those were the main two I used back then. Yeah, Napster and LimeWire. Yeah. And I used, gosh, what was the name of it? There was like this really good MP3 player back then. Windows MP3 player. I'm sure somebody will remember the name of it. It was like super popular. I used that a lot. Just so baffled by this. Oh God. Oh my gosh. Whipped llama's ass. Oh my gosh. What was that? Yeah. Yeah, what was it called? Winamp. Yes. Yes. Winamp. Yes. I used. Yeah. Winamp. Yep. 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 It was Winamp. Jeff wins. It was Winamp. Yeah. Oh yeah, Usenet. I mean, like I say, I had a UUCP node, and I was getting Usenet back when you could actually get it over a modem feed. But granted, it was like I say, a telebit trailblazer. I actually ended up having, I ended up having 2 dedicated phone lines at my parents' house when I was in college. One was just for, I think, my UUCP node, and one was for outbound, like BBS and dialing into college and stuff. So I ended up having two. So we had 3 phone lines in the house. Like they had the phone company, because you got 2 wires on a pair back then. They actually had to like run an extra cable from the pole to our house because of me. And it's kind of like, oh, do you have a business here? It's like, no, it's for him. Yeah. Oops. Yeah. Yeah, Winamp. Yeah, Winamp was awesome. But yeah, I had I may have gone a little overboard on the phone stuff. And I didn't have like a full-time BBS, but I had a part-time BBS that sometimes I'd have on. It's for the war games guy. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was pretty funny, especially like around 1990, having 1990, yeah, probably 1990, maybe it was even the late 80s, having the phone company come out and run an extra line because you already had 2 lines to get another one, and they had to like run another wire on the outside of the house and stuff, because the house, I mean, it was a 70s house. It wasn't wired for a bunch of lines, so they had to run extra lines along the side of the house and conduit to my bedroom. Signs I might have had a slight problem. Things really haven't changed, have they? Have not changed. M90, nice. Y2K. Oh yeah, I remember. I remember it was a big deal at work, but I was a contractor and they didn't want to have to pay contractors hourly, so I got to stay at home that evening while all the full-time people had to go in and spend their New Year's Eve in the office. Blooming chilly out here. I was sitting outside earlier. It's gonna get too warm soon. So I'm trying to enjoy the weather while I can. Yeah, to show you how over the top I was. This was like in the DOS days. And like people who would run, Xenix or some other Unix flavor. A guy I knew, he ended up building like these 4-port or 8-port serial port cards, and I ended up buying one off of him so I could run like multiple modems at the same time on one PC. Oh, and at one point my dad and I, we had K9Q, which was like, it did all kinds of stuff, but I think it also did like TCP/IP, and we did like a little kind of TCP/IP network over serial cables at home just to just for fun. Yep. M103, cool. M90, yeah. Yeah, nice. Oh, hello, Donkulus. Good evening. TCP/IP. Yeah, like, oh, he's still doing a lot of ham stuff. Yeah, K9Q, it was awesome. Like, it did modem stuff and TCP/IP and Kermit and all kinds of stuff, if I recall correctly. Yeah, you had to run multiple lines. Oh, you were a telephone engineer after. Nice. No, it was in the 80s. It was in the 80s. We had the house had 2 pair on the wire from the pole to the cable from the pole to the house, and because I added a 3rd line, because I already had the main line was my parents' house, and then was for all of us, and then I had a dedicated line just for modem stuff, and then I ended up adding a 2nd line, and they had to run another line to the house and come in like conduit along the side of the house. Yeah, TCP. Yeah, because it was like packet radio stuff. Yeah, I remember that. I mean, that was the kind of stuff that I was wanting to. And a friend of mine in college, like I want to say he had like an advanced license or something, so he had like a stack of books, and he gave them to me to study, but I never ended up doing it. Yeah. Yeah, here they had electronic switch meters. Yeah, they had like they had a twisted pair, two wires for one line, and so the cable had 4 wires, I think. And so if you needed more than 2 lines, you had to get another one. Phil Karn. I couldn't remember the name. Yeah, Phil Karn. Yeah, I mean that was over 30 years ago. That was cool. Yeah, off-kit. That's cool. But yeah, that K9Q, that was pretty amazing stuff, especially back then. I mean, especially for the how little resources the computers had back then. You could really squeeze a lot out. Granted, the original Unix computers that were TCP/IP was written on didn't have much resources either. I mean, like PDP-11s and stuff. Not like those had a ton of RAM or storage. nice, the sombrero there. It's one thing. Unfortunately, I can't image it because again, it's behind a building for me. An M90. Oops. I did it again. This has happened. Sorry, it's like my computer will lose the mouse for some reason. Electric light. Electric light orchestra. Are you gonna start live streaming? Do the stars tell a story? Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, stars have been around so long. Twilight. Oh, Twilight. Oh, the sombrero went behind the trees for a bit. I mean, all things considered, it looks pretty decent. Would the stars tell a story? Yeah. Can't stream, could stream from laptop. Yeah. I mean, one thing that I've thought about is Pleiades has some relation to human thought stories. Huh. I've heard that about some other things. Maybe not as far back, but like maybe some oral tales from prehistory that kind of became myths later. But yeah, I guess I was thinking about like, because I've read science fiction where there was like some species of alien that had, I've seen it in a couple of different science fiction kind of stories I'd read where there was some ancient alien race that maybe wasn't around anymore, that was around 1 billion years ago or something. But I've thought, like the universe has changed a lot, and now we have all these galaxies that are far away, but what would have things been like when all the galaxies were, like once galaxies were starting to form, when everything was a lot closer, like, and it's unlikely there would have been life to have seen that, but like just thinking about like what the universe looked like back then, watch the grass grow. I mean, I am trying to image the what do you call it? The I like the emoji too. This very, but I do have the Cone Nebula here, and I do have what's going on here. Is that real? Oh yeah, that is real. These two here are NGC 4302 and 4298. These two galaxies right here. And then this is the Virgo cluster pinwheel. This right here. And then up here we have, I think this is NGC 4312. And the blow dryer galaxy, which is M100. There's probably there's a few other galaxies in here, but they're probably kind of faint. It looks like there's one right there. So that is in kind of the it's just kind of the area I'm looking at. Oops. The area I'm looking at right now is right here, and it's right above, a few degrees above Markarian's chain. So like there's a ton of good galaxies in this area. So that's cool. And you mean, brother? The Silurian hypothesis? Not familiar with that one. Silurian hypothesis. Oh, okay. Right. The ability to detect earlier civilizations. Melting rocks. Gotta image the Boots Void. Where is that even? The Boots Void. Let's see, what else? I've also been kind of off screen trying to mess around with this with the reflector, trying to get some color in the images. Just looks kind of I ended up kind of restarting it with longer subframes. Like I was doing 15-second, and now I'm doing almost minute-long frames on the reflector. So I was just trying to... But for whatever reason, the colors are just all kinds of weird. And I tried to equalize then, you know, I equalized the colors, but then they end up like really kind of dull. All the six sparse-spec galaxies. One thing I want to do when it's a little darker at Starfront is I want to image some of those dwarf galaxies, like the Ursa Minor or Ursa Major dwarf galaxy, which is a satellite around the Milky Way. not nearly as spectacular as the Magellanic Clouds, but something that we can actually it's actually something that we can image here in the northern hemisphere. Cubits has M99. And cosmic ray has M90. Just trying to figure out what is wrong with this. And how can I get any kind of colors in here? Or is it just not feasible? Let's see. Let's see, M100. I feel like I just need to spend some time with the reflector trying to dial things in, because I've just haven't been able to do it justice. I feel like M103 is a Messier mania. I mean, I think like during the moon, since the moon is kind of interfering, I personally might give it another try. If there's like a night where it's completely clear, like in a week or two, because I mean, it wasn't ideal, like even back in early March, or earlier this, yeah, it was back in March. The or no, it was earlier this month. It was late March. Sorry, my brain. It wasn't. There were a couple of them that were kind of challenging in the morning and evening. So, and I had weather interfering, so I might give it another try. I mean, I won't be able to get all 110, but I might see if I can do another run at it and try to get over 100 in one shot, in one evening. Because I think I only got up to. Did I get over 100? No, I think I got up to like 98 in one evening, which wasn't bad. I mean, I imaged some things that I'd never imaged before, so. Okay, cool. Let's try this. Disconnect, reconnect. All right. Losing light just as you got the scope connected. That's unfortunate. Always seems to be that way. Like I'll have issues and then either, yeah, it'll run out of like the moon will come up or get clouds or it'll be daylight. Okay, so this one finished, the Cone Nebula finished, so now I need to figure out something else from Starfront. What would be a good one? Or a factory explodes. Or a factory explodes. I mean, that wasn't on my bingo card, but yeah. Yeah, no, that's cool. If you've, I mean, sometimes, yeah, it's just kind of getting the mechanics all in place so you can actually do it. Let's see. What would be a good target? Actually, let me check something real quick here. Okay, cool. Need to figure out another target for Yeah, the summer Milky Way isn't quite up yet, but it's almost there. There is actually still enough. Might actually be able to image some stuff still over there. Wait, what is that? So does everybody pretty much use 10-second exposures? My plan is once my scope at Starfront's a little bit better aligned, I'm going to try sticking with 15-second exposures, maybe 20-second exposures. But 10 usually seems to be is pretty safe. But I think if your alignment's good, you can go 15 or 20 seconds. Beyond that, I think you start, like the Seestar, like an unguided shot, there's a limit to what you can do. Although some people, and I think it depends on where in the sky it is. So maybe areas where, maybe towards the celestial pole where there's not as much movement, maybe you can go with longer exposures. But yeah, I have done 15-second exposures a lot. Because in ALP you can set to whatever number. But whenever I set it to 20, the reason I haven't done 20 more often is I'm not sure that it makes that much of a difference, and I get more drops. Oh, 12. Nice. Cool. 12-second subs. Interesting. Oh yeah. Yeah, if you look, it's kind of funny. What did I do? I hate that when I do that. So if you look at qubits, you notice the integration time isn't divisible by 10. It's divisible by 12. So that's kind of funny. Oops. Why is it doing that? To multi-select the windows in OBS. I missed that little detail. Yeah, I mean, I think if they get your alignment, you definitely should be able to do 15, maybe even 20. Yeah. Let's see. What would be... The problem is it's kind of in this situation where like the nebulas are all kind of getting low to the west, and the Summer Milky Way stuff still hasn't risen. Yeah, need a target picker. Need a target picker program, maybe. Maybe, yeah. Something to, so I don't have to think too much. I mean, the problem is I have a long list of targets. Some of them are below the celestial equator, which I can't image right now from Starfront because, like, they need to change a setting. And I can't... some of the other targets I have on my list are more when the moon's out of the way. So I'm kind of just trying to make do. There's some interesting galaxies, but I'm trying to look for ones that I haven't imaged as much, or at least not recently. Maybe I'll image that. The Koi Fish Galaxy. I don't think I've imaged that. Or if I have, I haven't done much. So let's... yeah, gotta get AI. I mean, there was this article or video that someone had posted about using AI, specifically deep research, where it kind of... I guess it pulls URLs and it kind of correlates information. But and using that to figure out targets for and I kind of had started messing around with it, but then I got sidetracked by the Messier Marathon, and now conditions aren't great. So I'll go with that. So the koi fish, it's fun, small but fun. Okay, well, we'll see how that goes. I just kicked that off. Oh, did I? Let me check. Okay, cool. That should work. It is trying to go to the target. Wait, what's going on? That's weird. Houston. Yeah, the problem is it's just yeah, I mean with the eye you can't see many stars. Do not end it properly on still record button on top of iPad. Yeah, I don't know. Hmm. "20 minutes stretching an image for it to crash. Yikes. Oh, that stinks. That stinks. Are you running like the dev version or the release version?" On the beta, okay. I mean, I've had both crash. I mean, I've had the production version or the release version crash as well. Wow. That's, yeah, Graxpert's pretty cool. I mean, I like it for the background extraction, but also the noise reduction's pretty. It's nice. Although sometimes I end up with artifacts, but some of it is maybe just my bad skies. Yeah, I need to do some with my old sky. My local one, to see if I can try to save often, because it sometimes flakes out. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I mean, I definitely have had Graxpert crash too. Yeah. Yeah, it'd be nice if they had some way to like checkpoint things. So then you wouldn't have to remember to and also for like, yeah, crashes. Sorry, my neck's oh. I was like, why don't I see more here? 1 stacked and 23 dropped. And now a second one was stacked. So we'll see. Yeah, there's something not quite right. Oh, transform failed? Uh, hmm. Well, let me pick another target besides the koi fish. Apparently that it did not do that. Give me a second. I am NGC. Yeah, let me do this one. Let's see if this is more agreeable. And hopefully this will not have those issues. Okay, it is stacked 2 images, so I did NGC 4216, which is the it is the Silver Streak galaxy, and there's a couple of galaxies next to it. Good night, Cosmic Ray. Thanks for sharing your scope, and have a good evening. Oh, hello, Astro Chris. How's it going? Good evening. Okay. Right. Yeah. Well, thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah, the live streams are not necessarily conducive to long form. I mean, all things considered, I'm happy with this. The M99 and M100 taken with the S30 with moon pollution, light pollution, no drop frames. Actually, it's about to finish. I think I only did an hour on it, so that yep, that is finishing. Yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah, things that's good. Great. Yeah, I'm just kind of imaging a few things. And gotta figure out something else for the S30 now. Yeah, yeah, the moon is it's definitely challenging right now. um, definitely challenging. I'm looking forward to a few days from now when it'll be out of the way. The only problem, of course, is that I think at Starfront tomorrow evening might be clear there, and Tuesday's looking better, and actually Wednesday's looking okay there. Oh no, that's not there. Never mind. Let me look at Starfront. Here it might be clear Monday evening and Wednesday evening. I'm trying not to do back-to-back live streams if I can help it. So yeah, Starfront doesn't look like it'll be great tomorrow evening. Tuesday and Wednesday might be okay. So I'll probably do a live stream one of those days, Tuesday or Wednesday. So the moon will just be that much out of the way, which will be great. And I should have the kind of equatorial mode sorted out, so I should be able to image things like the Dolphin Nebula. That'll be good. So let's see what I can do. There were 302 frames on that S30 and 0 drops, which is great. I should try longer exposures with that one, maybe when the moon's out of the way. What would be another one? Oh, maybe, have I done this one? I don't think I've done this one with the S30. Let me try this. I'll do the coma cluster with the S30. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Dolphin Nebula. Yeah, I mean, I like the balloon Molly. Yeah, I mean, it's problem is it needs a lot of data, um, and I just haven't been able to. I've gotten a few hours, like 5 hours with it, but I need a lot more, I think. Or a piranha. There should be a piranha. Piranha Nebula or something. I'm going to take a brief break. But I'll be right back. Yeah, so I'll be right back, and yeah, an HB filtered about 30 hours. Yeah, I mean, I was imaging it from Starfront, so it was going pretty well. It's just now it's getting kind of low to the west, so I need to try to maximize the amount of I can get from it over the next couple weeks, to try to get up to 15 hours. Hopefully, it's going to be a challenge though. But I'll be right back. So. the background, I've been messing around with the reflector. And I just noticed a little bit ago that it didn't look like the camera was cooling. And then I was like, I needed to take a break anyway. I neglected to plug in the camera. I mean, the power. So the cooler wasn't running. That would explain. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. 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 I mean, I wouldn't. I'm not even 100% sure if I can image it here, but I wouldn't even attempt it just because of the. It's the kind of nebula that's almost impossible for me to image from home. So let me see. Did not mean to do that. Let's see. Oh. Hmm. Let me try that. Try imaging some old wide-angle camera lens, large swaths. Yeah, yeah, that's one thing I want to do. Like, I want to image Bernard's loop. Like I've never imaged that before. I've seen some. There's some really cool. Okay. All right. Okay. I mean, Orion itself is pretty bright, but but Bernard's loop, it's definitely not as bright. Yeah. S70 Pro, yeah. Yeah. So I think part of my problem earlier is the camera wasn't cooling, and so it wasn't applying the dark, maybe? I don't know. But I'm getting the Sombrero Galaxy. Did not mean to do that. So that's that's the full size, so cropped in or zoomed in a bit. It's still working on it, but at least that's kind of what I was hoping to get. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the center region is challenging. Yeah. Wow. Real scopes. But yeah, anything besides like a smart scope, you get a lot more setup and tear down time. Dang it. Anyway, sorry, I'm just trying to. Of course, right now, what doesn't help with this sombrero I'm doing is the moon is off that direction, so it's going to start. At some point, it's going to rise above the building and start messing up things. Although maybe not as soon as I thought it would. Oh, because it's kind of low behind a building right now. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. It's the original smart scope. So it is chugging along. Man, look at all the glare at Starfront. Man, that all sky camera. That's rough. Rough. Yeah, I was actually wondering the same thing. Let me check. Yeah, those are clouds coming through. Yep. The way they're lit up by the moon. Cool. Yep, so Okay. Yeah. No, thanks. Thanks for joining, and thanks for sharing your scope, Qubits. Appreciate it. I'm probably going to be going to bed before too long, but we'll see. I'll probably be streaming again on Tuesday or Wednesday, I think, because it looks like one or both of those days might be good here and at Starfront, and the moon will just be that much more out of the way, which will be good. Tell you these. Let me see. Yeah. Good night, Qubits. Thanks for joining tonight. Streaming overlays. Why is this, nice. Congrats. You're made a lot of progress. That's fantastic. That is really good. Sorry, I'm trying to look at what the heck is going on here. But yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah, so I'm gonna move on to another target, but I was just kind of getting this more of the sombrero on the reflector. Just need to, there's a few things I need to do with that scope. Putting a mount on your car to see for the Seestar. I mean, they have, I mean, I guess it depends on what you're, I'm guessing not permanent. I mean, they have like these suction cup mounts that have like tripod threads on them. I don't know. I guess that was the first thing that came to mind. The thread, it's a 3/8 inch thread, like whatever the standard tripod. It looks like 3/8 16. So 3/8 and then 16 threads per inch. Yeah, because then you could like suction cup it to the roof. Another thing you can do, and I've gotten these before for stuff on the dash. You may not want to do it, but it's basically like a bean bag kind of material, or it's like a sand bag with like a felt underneath, and it's got a tripod head on the top of it. I'll have to find it, but it was basically something I had gotten off Amazon. But that wouldn't be as secure on top of your roof because like it could theoretically slide off, whereas the suction cup would stick. I mean, I guess it depends on what you meant by having it on the car, but I've used suction cup mounts before for attaching like a camera to the side or on the roof, like if you have a metal roof or a glass roof. I mean, some of them are rated for actually driving with it. Yeah, I mean, honestly, those I mean, that's like there's ones that are rated for driving. Like that's how they film some things, like the view when they're going down the road and it's like on the hood looking back in through the windshield. Like those are suction cup, and some of them are rated for high speed. Wouldn't necessarily, yeah. There's a limit, but yeah. But I would look at that suction cup mounts, like especially ones for automotive use. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I think I need to figure out stuff with this scope here because I don't know if it's just intrinsically because I tried to do a collimation of the reflector and it seemed like it was okay. So I think some of my issues with that might be yeah, and like the focus might be slightly out, but I was having a hard time getting like exact focus. Let's try that. The amount of noise on this one. But this one isn't too bad. There's definitely a gradient here, but this is the galaxy that about a year ago there was a supernova in it. That was pretty bright, reasonably bright. I mean, I was able to image it with the Seestar from Houston, so not like super bright, but I was able to image it, so bright enough to image in portal night skies. Okay. I'm trying a different target with the reflector. So that's why I'm kind of slightly distracted. What was it? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so this is turning out well. This is kind of noisy, but I have a feeling with a lot more data I could get some interesting results from here. So I'm trying the black what is it called? The Black Eye Galaxy, Evil Eye. Just trying to get that. And I don't know why it's got such a yellow tint to it. Yeah, I don't know. I might try something here after it finishes. Let's see. Yeah, it'll be nice once the some of the summer Milky Way targets are visible. Let's see what this does. So this is NGC, it's the Silver Streak Galaxy, so it's NGC 4216. This is the Coma B cluster, I think. What is it? Yeah, the Coma cluster. And I have this one going for an hour, so it's about 10 more minutes, and then I've just been kind of with the reflector pointing at random things, trying to get some of the settings the way I want them to be. So yeah, that's what's going on at the moment. But yeah, this target over here will be done in about 10 minutes. And what about this one? How long did I do this one? I might have only done this one for an hour as well. And this one's almost done. So once both of these are done, I might wrap up the stream. Because it is late It's a bit after midnight, and I will be, yeah, probably streaming, like I say, Tuesday or Wednesday night. And yeah, if you haven't liked the video, give it a thumbs up, because it does help with the live streams. If not tonight, subsequent ones, it does help. Yep, that one is done. So I've just been kind of messing around with this and I switched the camera to mono 8 mode just to see what it looked like in monochrome without the weird color cast. That's the evil eye galaxy. So just kind of messing around with the settings. That's only with about 3 minutes of data. And it's a color camera, but I switched it to, I mean, that's what I do when I'm doing solar observing. I switch it to mono mode, which it's not the same as being a mono camera, but still. Just So one thing I am going to probably try to schedule after the stream is over, I'm going to try to, well, actually, let me see. I was thinking I would schedule the comet, but if it's below the horizon, if it's negative declination, and it's got positive declination, so that's good. It will be rising in about 4 hours. So if I imaged it around 6 o'clock local time, should be high enough. So I'll probably try that. And yeah. So that will be, and I'll probably do a couple other things, schedule a couple of things after or before then. I just haven't decided what, because it's still not ideal, because a lot of the things I would want to image are towards where the moon is right now. So we shall see. Is the moon going to get above the horizon or above a building? Actually, it's kind of on a lower path right now, so it it won't be, it'll briefly appear from behind a building in about an hour. But it's kind of like in the trench area in my backyard, so it won't, between buildings, so it won't be at least shining right on the scope. But I'll be bringing the scopes in here. Got Alp imaging, but it's dropping frames bad. That's frustrating. PA was off each time by a lot. Huh. Hello, Seiko. Good evening. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining. Yeah, so we're just... I was imaging the... imaging various things, but it's also kind of... messing around with the evil eye galaxy. But I'm just kind of messing around with the stretch on it. Trying to figure out where to place scope aim settings. You mean as far as like what to set it to? I mean, I try to I try to have it kind of open up where it's, well, so I set the, let me look at that. I set the scope aim latitude. I set the scope aim latitude to my latitude, and then I set the scope aim longitude to 90, which if the power button is up when it's closed, when the Seestars closed, which is what they want, what they recommend for the for equatorial mode with the app, is to have the power button up. When you have it that way, the 90-degree causes it to end up with the opening it up where it's basically the arm is pointing almost straight up, essentially straight up. And then when it does the polar alignment, it's, you know, left and right of being straight up. That's what I have mine set to, and it seems to work. I am now running the beta. I'm running the beta locally, and I just started running it at Seestar, at Starfront. I just started running it there. Maybe I'll kick off another thing at Starfront. What is on my list here? I do want to image the comet, but that'll be after the stream's over. Oh, and the one on the right just finished. So let me find something that's sensible. Problem is all the Milky Way stuff is still really low. Although the moon is getting higher, so I could try imaging something to the north. The Iris Nebula is starting to get to the point where I'll probably start imaging that. Let's see, what would be a good one? Yeah, the koi fish did not work out earlier. So let's see. What could work? How high is that one? That's kind of low. That galaxy. Lad back to. Huh. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've had that at home, because although I can image straight up, the slightly to the west of the meridian is a building, so I have to I had to fiddle around with the longitude number in my case. Because otherwise it would end up 37% fail rate. Wow. Yikes. Yeah, I mean, sometimes. Oh. No, that's pretty low still, but the question mark nebula is starting to. All those targets are starting to rise now, which is cool. That's going to be too much. So let's find a galaxy. How high is that above the horizon? That's kind of small. Oh. Evening? Star Traveler? Thanks for joining. Golly. Oh. What is... I'm going to image that one just because it's the spindle galaxy. It's kind of a... Alright. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, that's weird. That's really weird. I really need to look at that at that some more, because that seems pretty that doesn't seem, it shouldn't be that much off. And there's, I mean, I know there's other people who've had some issues, so what am I? Okay, is it actually moving? Okay, it's starting, the one on the left. And that's a cached image on the left. That's not the current target. I feel like I've done this before, but I'll try it again. I feel like I've done this before, but well, that's off to a bad start. That the target on the left, it's dropped seven frames. So let me try a different target over there. I wonder if some of this stuff... Oh, never mind. It's got a negative declination, and I cannot image that right now. Oh, yeah. Oh, good night. Good night, Dire Havoc. Thanks for joining. Posted a sub of M51. Let me check. Oh, wow. Nice. long of a sub was that? Wow. So here's a globular, but there's also supposedly an open cluster here. Maybe somewhere in here. Put in general the first round of testing. Let's see. Nice. Had the Seestar and the EQ, ran its PA, then swapped. So it was off by 0.1, allegedly. 0.1 degree. Whereas this is off by a degree. Huh. Interesting. Hmm. $10. Nice. Oh, using multi-band pass. Well, that's cool. That looks pretty good. Thinking I need to do something with my... Oh, this finally started imaging something. I was about to stop it. But it did start. Just dropped a lot. It's the Spindle Galaxy. Maybe that's where the open cluster is? Yeah, I think so. It's just really faint. Going for 3 hours. Nice. Yeah, it would be interesting. I'm kind of curious what the difference you'll see between the two. Definitely would be curious to see. Let's try this. Hmm. Yeah, there's definitely open cluster there. It's just very faint. Hmm. All right. I'm just sorry. I'm kind of trying out something here. All right. All right. Looping. And let's try that. Yeah, so I parked the reflector because this has happened a few times where it ends up losing a connection to the guide camera. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see what results you get from that. Yeah, so here's the open cluster. It's very faint. But yeah, I think I might. I see there's some clouds moving through the camera, the all sky camera at Starfront. Let me check. It's the last 45 minutes. Sometimes when it's replaying the time lapse, it glitches until it's gone through fully. Anyhow, yeah. So I think I might leave it at that for tonight. I plan on live streaming again. Like I say, I'm thinking Tuesday night. Let me double check. Yeah, because Wednesday night looks better at Starfront. Here, Wednesday looks better as well, Wednesday night. So I'll probably live stream Wednesday night then. But yeah, if you haven't joined the Discord server, should definitely check it out. Because yeah, there's often something going on. I shared videos from Cosmic Ray and Qubits while they were observing this evening, so that kind of stuff happens all the time. So if you haven't joined the Discord, you should consider checking it out. But yeah, I think I'm going to leave it at that for tonight, and I will see you all hopefully in the next one. Have a good evening.